Okay, good morning. Let's speak for a second. Get closer and cozy. And do for area, some spinal movement, shoulders, neck area. Not a large amount of time, maybe like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Just be a little bit shorter. And with some breathing, just to wake up the body. Let's take the arms wide. Inhale up overhead and interlace the fingers. Just take a little bit of movement, and you can do this as well, whatever feels good to you. Just to stretch the side body. You can see my ribs poking out, so I'm going to pull them back in and strengthen the front body to lengthen the side body. I'm going to go over to one side, let's go to the right. And pause here for a moment. Again, as you breathe, finding the length and support in the side body. So supporting with the right hand, lengthening through the left side, go back to center. Feel the difference. And over to the other side. We're looking for any tension in the head, neck, shoulder area, the jaw especially, and releasing that. It's really easy to bow the head forward. I was just doing it where it clenched the jaw. So we're just looking for some freedom in the head, neck, and shoulders. So once again, right, with a little more flowing. Inhaling center and over to the left. And back again. This freedom of movement, especially in the side body. And then let's take it forward. Walk the hands around. Left. A little bit of a twist. The torso. Walk it back. And again, a little bit of twist. I'm sort of reaching as well. So feel huge stretch along the back side of the body. That one more time. It's a great way to get out of bed, stretch yourself, and really open up through the body. And take the fingertips back. Pull the elbows together, the shoulder blades on the back. And just lift. You don't have to lift, but maybe perhaps you want to try that. And lower back down so the sit bones are really settling onto the floor and drop forward. Full deep breath in, full deep breath out. And walk it back to center. Spring has begun and sprung, even it's mid-May, even here in Utah where it's been super cold, wet, and snowy the last 2 months. We had a long winter. Even now, even so, spring is really coming up quite readily. Move the hips. So what are you springing into? What are you blossoming? What are you nurturing to grow this month with the other direction? And this practice. Maybe we're growing in our health and fitness area, or growing in relationships, whatever that is. Get to mind, place the hands on the heart, breathe in deeply, and take a moment to allow yourself to visualize that growth and see your future self. This visualization kind of help us hit a target or appear or see what it is that we want. And then charge up with feeling. What does it feel like to get that? With unshakable trust moving forward towards that. So in a word, set your intention for this practice. Open the palms wide, leave. Inhale, exhale, breathing. Give ourselves a squeeze. Now, this is a really tight squeeze. Opposite arm on top. Not just simply a tap, but a real actual squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Good. Shake it out. Place the hands on the forehead. We'll start with Nadi Shodhana, just alternate nostril breathing. So your thumb will close the right nostril, your ring finger will close the left nostril. We'll take it, begin with both, an inhale in both nostrils, exhale through both nostrils. Slide the thumb down and close the right, and inhale through left only. Pause at the top, switch, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right side. Switch, exhale through the left. Okay, now you've got the rhythm, take it at your own pace. Inhaling for 6, as fast or slow as you'd like to count. Pause, exhale for 6. Make it even. Right side inhale. Left side exhale. Continue in that manner. 3 more rounds. When we're practicing breathing exercises, we do it for a minimum of 10 breaths. That would be 5 rounds in this scenario. You could go longer. In fact, I would highly recommend practicing this breathing exercise for 5 minutes, even 2 minutes. For balancing left and right hemispheres of the brain, focus, attention, and an overall sense of well-being, of grounded, ready for. Start on our last round. And then we're going to have in the lap and just breathe normally. Very normal Ujjayi breath. You know that's normally what you do, but deep diaphragmatic breathing. Then tilt the head to your right side, so the ear is coming towards the shoulder. We're just going to slope the shoulder down just a bit and take the opposite arm out and around. Okay. Hit solid ground along the back side, or come all the way around the hip. So the right arm is going to come up around the head and we'll press into the hand. My neck is pretty tender. Right now I haven't stretched it or paid attention really for a bit. Still super good. Opening up the neck area. Full breath in, full breath out. When you feel that little bit of give, not forcing, but the muscle itself saying, ah, yes, I'll open up just a little bit more. That's what we're waiting for. And then bring the head back to center. We may or may not get there. Unwind the arm. And shake the head, yes and no, the little ball. With an infinity sign with the nose. Go back to vertical. Tilt the ear to the other shoulder. Bring the hands up. All the way around to your back pocket. Your right hand. And if that feels good, you can stay there, or if you like the hands here. Experiment a little bit. Create your own adventure today in your body. Let's bring the left arm up and around. Press the head into the hand. Open up through the shoulder here. Full breath in, full breath out. Again, we're looking for that bit of give. As the muscle begins to respond to the openness, or the fascia also begins to respond to a different shape. Take a few breaths, and then lift the head back to center, and take a figure 8. Inhale, look to the sky. Exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, look to the sky, lift the chin. Lift the heart. And exhale, chin to chest. Let's go one more time. And exhale. Back to center. The ears over the shoulders. This takes a great amount of efforting on our part to keep the back straight and out of this hunched or rounding position. So come up, forward onto the sit bones, sitting bones. Shoulders back, heart forward. So you can see the heart, the sternum, in front of the shoulder, not behind it like this. We really want to concentrate here, our energy and effort, so we can manage strengthening the back and help our neck be out of harm's way. It's very cool. Let's send the legs forward. Let's a tight little pretzel for a minute. Shake them out, side to side. Then plant the hands, and my hands are going straight down. Maneuver this just a little bit. There you go. So you can see my hands. And they're facing the side wall. Just right next to the hip. Then I'm going to open up the heart and chest. Put the shoulder blade on the back, press down through the feet, and lift the hips. Inhale, exhale, tap down, keep the heart open. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. Pull front side of the shoulder, chest, and arms are getting a big stretch. We're going to go one more. Plant the fingers and use the whole pad of the hand. So we're not dumping into the wrist. Let's bring it forward. Catch the elbows around the knee and around the back. Stretching the back side. Forehead towards the knee, and you can see my forehead's not touching. Some of you may be able to do that. Have that stretch. And not quite this early awake. And then release it. Come back to this same position, this time with the legs extended. We're going to bend one, press down through the foot, and lift. We've got one leg bent, one leg straight. Exhale, lower. Switch the leg that's bent and straight. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. And switch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Switch. Inhale, lift. We're going to go twice more. Exhale, lower. Stay out of the wrist. We're not dumping. You have to push the floor away with both the heel and the pads of the hand, all the way up to the fingertips. Your foot, where the knee is bent, is really powerful and acting as a runner. Great job. Let's release that. Both legs coming out, shake it up. And then we'll bend the knees and drop them over to one side. I'm going to face you again. Maybe going to the right. We'll take it in a side flexion. Inhale back to center and up and over. Now some friends are going to be more comfortable sitting on a blanket. This is going to not be so comfortable for your knee. So if you're leaning quite a bit this way and your hip wants to lift to protect the knee, that's great. It's doing what it should. So find a blanket and place it under the right hip. Over and 5. Now we're going to rotate it. So we're going to reach to the right and let that hip come. Get a full body stretch. Inhale, center, and side flexion. Inhale, center, rotating, lifting the hip. Over. Here, up and over. Reach and hold, extend the back leg, and bring the elbow and knee together. Inhale, exhale, extend. Feel the whole frame of our zoom. So reaching beyond where we think we can reach. And then tapping the knee. Last time, let's reach it. Wide, anchor, foot to the floor, that straight leg, and then come back to vertical. We'll go up and over. Getting long and strong, tall in the side body. Hold, 3, 2, opening up through the interior of the leg. Feel that inner thigh. 1, let's release it, plant the right hand, lift the hips as you press down through the heel and the shin. Let's take a big circle through the shoulder. And the hips back to the earth. And we'll walk forward. This will be a bigger stretch for the inner thigh. Head coming down. Exhale, inhale, raise, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And a wave option, or you could just hold. Bring it all the way back to center, upright. Take the leg that is bent and straighten it forward. The leg that is straight, and we'll carry it right across the right thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Look over your left shoulder. Twisting back. Still keeping the length in the spine. So in 5, I'm still tall. Still want to keep that energetic pressing down into the sit bone, so I get the length in the spine. Release it back to center. And we'll cross ankle over ankle. I'm going to reach forward. Opposite hand to foot. And my right hand is grabbing the big toes of the left foot. Inhale, open. And exhale, tap to center. Inhale, open. Now that might be really quite a stretch to catch the foot. You could be on the shin, a little more upright. We want to feel the waist turning, opening, shearing at the waist, that transverse axis. This hold here, take forward bow. So you could use a strap around the foot or just bring the hands a little bit closer to the shin or knee. Again, this whole backside for me is a huge stretch. Let's bring it back to center, uncross the leg, bring it together here. Squeeze and hug the knees. And let's drop the forehead towards the shin. Now my head is getting a little bit closer. No, not quite touching. We'll see what the other brings. So this time we drop the knees to the left. I'm gonna come forward so I can see you. Up and over, side flexion. Inhale, center. So the same situation applies with your blanket. I'm going to place it under the left hip this time. Inhale, side flexion. One more time. To the left and then upright, and we'll rotate. Waistline. Yeah, raise up. Inhale, center, side flexion. Alternating, inhale, center, rotation. Inhale, center, side flexion. Very nice. Inhale, center, rotation. Now extend your right leg straight out. Inhale, bring the elbow knee together. And exhale, reach as far forward and as far back. Foot and hand away from each other as you can. Top. We're doing a little one hand, one arm push-up here. Last time, plant the right heel all the way up so your knees facing forward, toes facing up. And take it over. We'll hold 3, 2, check and scan for any areas that have tension. And this usually comes in the form of a jaw clenching or shoulders up around the ears. Just take a deep breath, notice where you're at, release that tension. Now we should be feeling tension along the inner thigh. That's muscle tension because we're stretching it. I definitely feel it there. Come back to center, plant your left hand behind the hip and press through the heel or shin to raise the hip, coming into a wallowing circle here. We're going slow and methodical today. No standing. Let's bring the hips back down. So I would call this more of a gentle yoga. Gentle, perhaps not easy. They're not synonyms. So when I look at a gentle class, sometimes for me that's the harder class. I have to slow down and really pay attention to what my body needs. Paying attention instead of checking out. Really check in. How does this feel? And breathe into the back body. Open up even more. Stay out of the rounding or hunching of the shoulders. And then let's walk it back up to center. The bent leg coming straight and the straight leg bending across down the opposite leg. Hug and lift, and again, when we're hugging the knee, we're bringing that spine back into a vertical alignment and then twisting. Full breath in, full breath out. You're going to feel some pressure of the rib and belly against the thigh, especially as you breathe in. If we're getting the most out of the breath, the most expansion, as you breathe in, it's going to affect the belly. And let's return to center, straighten out the top leg. We've got a crossover, and I'm going to reach forward with the left hand, open with the right. On the inhale, exhale, top. Inhale, open, exhale, top. Twice more. So one more time. We're just kind of easing into this forward fold early in the morning. Definitely stiff for me. So I'm just gonna not go, with full force, but breathe and see if I can soften the heart a little bit more towards the shin, even if it's a millimeter, that's an inch, a few millimeters, a few centimeters. Dropping the head. Full breath in, full breath out. And then when you're ready, let's go hand over hand, coming back to center. Uncross the legs. We'll take this for the last time, bending the knees. I would call this a seated rabbit. Wrapping the elbows around the knees, rounding the back, and bringing the forehead to the knees. Now I'm touching. So I've got enough stretch or mobility in my back and neck. That it's a little easier for me to stop. Not the goal, mind you, but it's seeing that what we did made a difference. And gently. Let's bring the feet around. And come onto your hands and knees here. Inhale to cow, which is allowing the heart to dip towards the floor, shoulders broaden. Then we're going to tuck the tailbone and round the low back. Easy to round the upper back. So take it easy there. Inhale to back to cow. And exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. One of my favorite things to do is add a little movement. So to take the hips back towards the heels, I like the toes turned under, you can choose. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. So I'm just moving forward and back. Making this supple, tuning into the spine and its movement, inflection, extension, forward and back. One more time, child's pose, and then as you come forward, let the hips drop, bring the shoulders back. Don't let the shoulders come in front of the fingertips. I don't want it over here. They're upright and back, straight over the wrist. And then hips to heels. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This might not happy. I'm gonna just face this way so you can see a little bit more how that's happening on the front end. Here, hips are moving back. And then gliding forward, the hips lower down and the belly picks up. So I don't let go of my midsection. I don't want to press into the low back. This is great. We're going to take a downward facing dog. So toes turn under the hip and press all the way back. We take that same movement of forward and back, but now we're coming into plank and then back into a downward facing dog. Take it easy here. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Raise the right leg. So we'll bring the feet a little bit closer. We'll bring the right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, rotate through the ankle. You can see me doing that. And keep the shoulders facing the floor. So we're not trying to turn. We're still keeping the shoulders facing the floor, and the hip is what's rotating. Then we're going to rotate through the hip by taking the knee in a circle motion. When you're ready, step the leg all the way through. Coming into a low lunge. Pulse with your back foot, forward and back. This is gentle, going slow and easy. Straighten the front leg. I don't have a block with me today, so if you've got something to raise the hands a little bit, I'm coming up on my finger pads, so I have a little more space. But you could place your hands on a block or a stool or anything that has some height to it, enabling you to straighten that front leg completely. Nice. So one more. Now as you bend the front knee, bring your back knee gently to the floor. And again here, I would suggest having a blanket underneath the knee. We'll take it back, straight leg and forward. Back and forward. Nice. Time. Hold. Bring the left hand to a block inside the ankle. And rotate open to the right. This definitely is going to take some balance. The challenge here is keep the toes upright, dig the heel in, and support the length and straight in the back of the hamstring. Inhale, open, and exhale. Tap the ankle. Inhale, open here. Exhale, tap. And exhale, tap. Extend the knee. Go a little bit deeper here. Bend the back knee. So let's take the back leg over to the side. Bring your right arm inside the right knee. And I'm going to work with my left hand all the way over to the left side of my mat. And come on to my forearm. Right hand inside the knee and coaxing it open. You can do this with a block. So I'm pretty low here. And I'm getting a much deeper stretch through the hip. A lot deeper stretch. That's intense. Let's come back to center. Bend the back knee. And with either the right or left hand, clasp the top of the foot. So I'm going opposite hand to foot. But you could do same hand to foot. And you could do this all the way down onto the floor on your belly, just bending the left knee and catching the foot with your hand. It's a deep quad stretch, deep quad stretch. Gentle, not easy. Again, we're in that scenario, gentle, not easy. So as we release that, straighten the front leg, you're going to bring your right heel all the way to the pocket of your right mat, the right side of your mat. Turn the back toes under and begin to lower down into a split. The challenge here is to not go too far, and also to dig the heel in and give some pressure there. So you're lengthening and strengthening the hamstring. So some friends are going to want to be a lot higher here, kickstand, and just bring the elbows to the floor so you feel that inner thigh mobility. Awesome. When you're ready to come out of the split, make a plan here. Move slow. Let's bring your right leg back to meet the left. Hands to the mat, and take a downward facing dog. You might feel a little or a lot difference between your right and left leg. It's asymmetrical to have one leg forward, one leg back, so we stretch the hip flexor on one side and the hamstring on the other. A little bit of difference there. Now before we go to the second side, we're gonna do some push-ups, and we'll come forward here into plank. Keep the hips high, and just tap the knees down, and then lift back up. Tap the knees, and lift back up. Abs first, so you tap the right knee, and lift. Left knee, and lift. Both knees, and lift. Back into downward facing dog. All right, awesome. Now, we're gonna add on a little bit here. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, knees. And then bend the elbows back. You're pulling the hands back. So the forehead comes forward, coming halfway, and then press back up into downward facing dog. So we're doing a push-up times 5. Inhale into plank, knees down. Bend the elbows, go as far as you can, and still be able to push back up, downward facing dog. And when you see this, my shirt tucked in, tuck the shirt in here. You can see your belly has as much power in this action as your arms do, okay? So when you come forward, the knees come to the mat. I'm bending, but I'm not sinking the belly. Make sure that you're not dropping the hip. The hips stay high, is the bend is in the elbow. And then when I lift back up, I'm lifting with the belly, a lot of power there. And then press into downward facing dog. You want to keep the whole body strong. Inhale forward, knees to the floor, and the elbows exhale. Down. Is that 4? I think we have one more. Maybe this is our 6th one. I'm not sure. We're going to count it as 5. And the elbow, press back up, downward facing down. Nicely done. Bring the left leg forward, and down on the opposite side. So your block, if you have one, and I here have one to show you, you come right on the inside and you place the hand on the block to give you a little more space and room. Let's straighten the front leg. I like to lift the toes right here. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Again, having a block can help you straighten this front leg. I'd rather your hands were on a block and you come all the way to straight versus your hand on the floor and not being able to straighten the front leg. Okay? And that's the action we're looking for. Full straight in the leg. Let's bring it back down, knee to the floor. We're doing the same action, but it's going to feel slightly different. If you're on a hard surface, you'll want to double your mat for your knee. For the knee, if I'm fine. I have a really thick mat. I don't feel this at all in my knee. It's definitely supportive. But if you need more support, place a blanket or under the knee or double the mat. Let's pause here. Walk your right foot or left foot over to the side. My right forearm to the mat, or stay upright as usual. Left hand on the inside of the knee and open it. Now I'm starting to really feel the hip flexor here. I'm not sinking. I still have a firm belly. I'm still pressing down through the back knee and I'll twist here. Center. Straighten the front leg. Bow in. And we'll take a deep dive in Hanumanasana or Ardha Hanumanasana. This half split pose. Toes are up to the sky. Let your right hand on the block open to the side, the left, and exhale, tap. Inhale, a lot of down. Exhale, tap. Inhale, open. And some tap, hold, dig the heel in, drag the left sit bone back as you bow forward. Okay, and let's come back into that bend position. Bend your back knee, reach same hand and foot. If you remember last time I did opposite hand and foot, so I'm showing you same hand and foot. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it safely and what's good for you, gently. I want to feel this quad start to open a little bit deeper. Important to stay off the kneecap. So I'm forward, I'm all the way up onto the quad muscle on this right leg. And I can feel it, yes, I can. Everywhere. You go ahead and release. Straighten the front leg. Now, and if you'd like, I'll give you two options. You can shift that heel forward, bring the hands in and kickstand the back leg. Dropping in, that's one option, which is going to just feel really so good for the inner thigh. The other option is to go right into split. So my feet are going to be on the opposite end of that. Yes, I'm a little tight, so I'm not even all the way to split, but this is good. And then I'll drop forward, and now I can feel that inner thigh and the back hip flexor for sure. Definitely want to energize the feet, keep the legs active in whichever posture you're taking. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's bring it back to center. As you come out, you're sliding to meet the right. You should feel a little more even. Toes turn under. Let's come back into a downward facing dog. You did it. That's the whole thing. Very nice. Then come forward. We'll bring the knees to the floor. Forearms to the mat this time. Wrap the hands together. And we're making a pancake hand. Okay, now you can see my low back is dipping. I'm going to pull up through the belly, stretch the legs all the way out and come into a plank. My back is very flat and my hips and shoulders are even. So we'll do the same tap of the knee, keeping the hips elevated. Just tap down on the knee and then lift back up. Listen knee and lift back up. We're here for about 30 to 40 seconds, maybe 60 if you can. Alternating knee taps. Definitely feeling this in the navel. If you are not feeling it in your belly, but you're feeling it in your low back, bring both knees to the floor, tone the navel so it takes some of the weight off and just lift and lower. So that's an option. So now I've got one knee always on the ground. That takes some of the weight and pressure off. You're still feeling it in your low back. And come out of the posture. And you're gonna release the hip all the way to the floor. Let's go 15 more seconds, holding here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down. Press it all the way back. Definitely gentle, not easy. Bring the leg into a wide, seated. Here now, wide feet, side to side. Almost done. We're going to take it to the floor, or take it to our backside. Bring the knees in. Adho Konasana. Bow forward. Inhale, lift tall. And make your way onto your We're back. So we're supine. Knees into the chest. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, move the knees away. Exhale, knees to the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Cross at the ankles if you can. Reach down, take a hold of the toes, and then circle the knees. Easy here. If that's uncomfortable, you can uncross the feet. And then we'll release. And cross the opposite foot on top. Circle. Both directions. Into happy baby. Stretching one leg out to the side. Bring it back in, the opposite leg. And if you'd like, you can roll to one side and then back to center, roll the other side. Back to center. And make your way into peaceful pose, Shavasana, the legs extended. Arms to your side. Full breath in. Let it all out. Releasing. Quiet the mind, still the body. Make sure that there's some darkness, either closing the eyes or putting a 5-4 on the eye, or turning the lights up. And that you're warm. That might be adding another extra layer of clothing or using a blanket. Pause here. The body is relaxed, quiet, still, and dark. Has a better chance of releasing and coming into that meditative state that we're looking for in Shavasana. You'll stay there for another couple minutes, even 5, and if you want to turn the video off and stay in there as long as you like, especially when we're finished. Take as much time as you need here. When you are ready, you'll come to a sideline position. Give yourself an acknowledgement to seated. And join me here. It's a good position. Please no rush, take your time. Fabulous day. Namaste.